Hello again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whenever and wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice. It is D.L. White, Atlanta based author of romantic fiction featuring Black men and women. I'm here with another episode of the Books by D.L. White Bookcast. It's just my weekly platform to chit chat and talk about things that are rolling through my mind. I'm sure you want to know. I know you're very interested and excited to hear these things. The bookcast was originally created to share short fiction, but to share such short fiction, I have to write short fiction, and I haven't been. But more on that. More on that lately. Hopefully, there will be some coming very soon. So I have over the course of the week or so thought about what sort of cadence or rhythm I want to have to my podcast episodes. I really just jumped back into this thinking, hey, you have a microphone and a laptop, you should, maybe use it. And I haven't really planned out what I want to do with this podcast, where I want to go with it. There's no structure, there's no plan. I don't know what I'm recording week to week. It's just literally here are things going through my mind. And I think that I want to always talk about two things and occasionally have them tied together by a theme. So here's two things I've been thinking about this week. And the theme I'm thinking about is what matters most. And I am thinking about that with the mind of there's a theory that we used to subscribe to at the place where I work. It's Atlanta-based beverage brand. Y'all know which one. You might not love it, but you know which one it is. It's the red one, not the blue one. But there's a theory that we adopted a few years ago called focus on the work that matters most. We talk about what moves the needle, what matters to the customer, what matters to the consumer, what matters internally. And we stop focusing on things that don't matter. We stop doing things that nobody cares about. We stop spending time and work and effort and money on things that don't move the needle, that nobody cares about, that doesn't bring any value, that no one is interested in doing, and nobody's looking at it. So that's a thing that I've tried to apply to my author career in a way that benefits me as the author, as the person doing all the work, and bringing the work to eyes and ears of people who are reading my books. And I've made a lot of decisions in my author career that are based around focusing on the work that matters most. Like, there's a lot of things I did with my debut book that I will never do again. A lot of money I spent that I'll never spend again because it was worthless. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for my readers. It didn't further anything. It was just money I spent, like hiring a person to send out tweets. They posted them at like a weird time of the morning when nobody was on, so nobody saw them. They never retweeted anything. It was just like I spent like $120 for someone to tweet 4 times about brunch at Ruby's at 2 a.m. I mean, it was a waste of money, you know. Never doing that again. Well, I do my own tweets now. Never doing that again. I focus on things that move the needle for me and for my readers. Like, I work a full-time job outside of writing, and I need all my energy and efforts for that job. I don't have a whole lot extra time. I don't have a whole lot of extra energy and brain power for going overboard in my author career, particularly in a space where I'm not making back what I'm spending. I for sure take a loss on the author business. I don't spend a ton on putting these books out, but I do want to spend, of course, the most time and effort on cover, on marketing, and things like that. I don't spend, a whole ton of money on ads and that kind of thing. So I'm looking at the least I can do that gives me the most punch where I don't feel like it's a waste of my time and money. Along that line, there are some things that I'm really thinking hard about not doing anymore. One of them is having a newsletter list. So one of the things that I've done since I've been listening to the Better Faster Quickcast with Becca Syme, there's a thing she talks about all the time, every episode: question the premise, QTP. When I hear this lauded advice, you have to do this, you have to have this, you have to, I question the premise. Do I? Do I have to do this? Do I have to have this? Like, the biggest advice you ever hear from anybody is you have to have a newsletter list. You've got to have a list of your followers. It's the only thing you own. You have to have a list. And I've never wanted a newsletter list. I don't want one. I don't want to write a newsletter. I don't want to write one once a week. I certainly don't want to write one once a month. I am not a busy author. I am not always writing. I am not always marketing. I do try to push a book every day. I try to create a promo and push it out, to all my sites every day. I do push a book every day. I have 11 of them. I need to put them to work for me, but I'm not out here marketing every day. I am not publishing a book every day. I'm not writing every day. I am not that busy. I do not have a darn thing going on. I don't have anything to put in a newsletter. And the running advice is, well, you can you create this cute stories and share a little about yourself, and your readers want to know all of that. And I get that, but I promise, oh y'all, I promise, I'm not an interesting person. I'm not. I'm not. Like, I work, I read books, I write books, I watch documentaries. I mean, I share most of that on social media. If you're following me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you know what's going on in my life. Follow me there for free. You don't have to sign up for nothing. I just don't have enough going on in my life where I feel like I need a VIP tunnel to my readers. I also don't feel like most of my readers are on my newsletter list. I feel like my newsletter list is full of people that were looking for something free. And I just am not seeing the value in it. I know that I have readers on that list. I don't think that people are looking for my list for the latest on news from Books by D.L. White. They're following me on social media. They're on my Facebook page. They're sending me emails. They're in my Instagram. They're even on TikTok, which, by the way, I've decided to stop posting on TikTok. It's a waste of my time. I'm not deleting anything, but I did make my account private. It is still there, but I'm not going to be posting there. I spend most of my time on Instagram and Twitter, like reformatting and trying to get things onto TikTok for 22 views is a waste of my time. So it doesn't matter to me. So I'm going to stop doing it. I'm not on TikTok for anything but like watching cat videos and people reorganizing their refrigerator. So TikTok is not a place where my books are going to be pushed anymore. It'll mostly be Instagram, Facebook. I might try to pick up Pinterest again, but again, it just depends on if it makes it, if it makes any impact for me. If I don't see, a whole lot of following and a lot of traffic coming from TikTok, I'm not TikTok, but Pinterest, I'm not going to put my time into it. I have a finite amount of energy and bandwidth for this stuff. I am not a full-time author. I'm a part-time author. I am not doing full-time things. I have routines and habits that are great for full-time authors, but I I am just not out here producing enough to have a very active newsletter list. I've had a newsletter for 3 or 4 years, and it's at 1,400 people. Um, I'm just not. I'm just not that author. I don't. Ain't nothing happening over here. I got nothing. So probably going to stop doing a newsletter. I have a blog on my website that I don't like. I don't like writing in that either, but I will do a blog post if I have a sale, if I have a new book coming out. Maybe. I don't did I ever put Hey Lover on the website? I don't know. I mean, it's on my books page. I don't know that I ever did I don't know that I ever did a blog post for Hey Lover. So yeah, I'm gonna get it together. There's some things I do have to do. I do have to have a static location of information. When people go looking for information on me and my books, I want that to be on my website. I cannot commit to regular updating and communication of information. It's on my website. I'm gonna point to my website all the time. I'm not going to commit to writing a newsletter and sending it out to 1,400 people for 36 people to unsubscribe because they don't care what is happening in my life. They don't care. So I don't have a readers group because I'm not the kind of author. I'm not the kind of author to have people clamoring for VIP time with me, for one-on-one time with me. I'm just, and this isn't a poor me post at all. I have readers that are die hard. I have readers that tell me that I am their auto by author. I love that. I appreciate that. I want more readers like that. I'm willing to spend one-on-one time with those readers and those people that are reaching out to me in the DMs, in the comments on my Instagram, that reply to me on Twitter, that are on my Facebook page, that hit me up in the private messages on Facebook. Girl, I just read this book. It was so good. I love it. I frigging love that. I love it. So that's where I want to dwell until I get to a point where it's too much to handle. And then I might go back to a newsletter or maybe a Substack or go back to blogging or Patreon or something. But I have to drill my routines and my habits down to a manageable amount, and I will stress myself out if I decide that I need to do too much, or I'm looking at such and such author and I'm trying to emulate whatever they're doing. But they're a full-time author. They make full-time money doing that. I don't. So matching energies, focusing on what matters what most, what moves the needle for my readers, what moves the needle for me and for my books, doing the best that I can for books by D.L. White while not compromising the quality of material that I'm going to be putting out. So things I'm thinking about, just know if you're on my newsletter list, I'm not, I'm not deleting anybody off of it. Who knows if I'll need it in the future. But for right now, I'm not planning on writing nary another newsletter because I don't want to. So there's that. Other thing I was thinking about is something that I'm seeing roaming around the internet lately, and I have not dug too deeply into it. So I could be actively talking out of my ass, but from what I gather, some readers are upset about a practice that Amazon has regarding Kindle Unlimited titles being available elsewhere and just completely banning that author from Amazon, and then you have to fight to get your books back up on the platform. And I want to talk about it because I have thinky thoughts. So let me roll back. If you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, it is on the reader side, Kindle Unlimited is a subscription program. You pay Amazon $9.99 a month. You can have 20 books that are they're select books. On the author side, it's called Kindle Select. So you select books to be part of this uh, um, program. It's like a library where you treat these select books like a library. You can have 20 out at a time. You borrow them, you read them cover to cover, you return them, you get another book. You can have 20 out at a time. It used to be 10, now it's 20 for one low price a month, but you can only read books that are enrolled in the Kindle Select program like that. On the reader side, you get those 20 books. Then a lot of them are romance, so you can read your face off for $9.99 a month. It's fantastic. On the author side, you choose what books you want to enroll in that program. We are not made to enroll in Kindle Unlimited. We absolutely have a choice. We can pull our books out of Kindle Unlimited if we want to. Nothing is forced on us. The only thing that is forced on us is the low, low price they pay per page read. In exchange for only having your ebooks, it's ebooks only, not paperback, not audio, ebooks only. Your book can only be available in the Kindle Unlimited program. You can't give it away anywhere. You can't have it for sale on your website. You can't have it for sale at any other retailer. This is independent authors only because trad books have different rules. In exchange for your book being exclusive to Amazon Kindle, you get paid. Point. 0.00498 something something cents per page. If you have a 50-page book, you can do the math. I'm bad at math. I'm not even going to guess what that is, but it's probably not even $1 if you have a short book. So the longer your book is, the more you get paid, but only if readers read it cover to cover. You get paid for however many pages a person reads. If a person opens your book, reads 3 pages, closes it, I'm only going to get paid for those 3 pages. If you open my book, read from page 1 to 397, I get paid for all 397 of those pages the first time that you read it. If you read that book more than once, I only get paid the first time you read it. If you have, say, a 400-page book, you might get, I don't know, it's $1.97, $2 or something. I don't know. You can do the math. Somebody reply to this and tell me how much that is. We have a 400-page book. We get paid 0.00497 cents per page. Not even a penny a page, a portion of a penny a page for those books. I want to stress that we are not made to enroll in this program. This is absolutely author choice because the sheer volume of readers means that you could earn thousands of dollars. There are authors that make a full-time income off of their books in Kindle Unlimited. They have a lot of books. They have a lot of long books. They published often, and they're very popular with readers. There are authors making a whole lot of money off of books in Kindle Unlimited. That's how many readers they have. When you have someone like me, when I released my books in Kindle Unlimited, for about the first month, first 4 or 5 weeks, gangbusters. Gangbusters, like $800 in the first month. And then those reads start to drop off. And I can't pay people to read books in Kindle Unlimited. I cannot get page reads to save my life. And now I can't sell that book anywhere else because it has to be exclusive to Amazon Kindle. Just the ebook. Just the ebook. Paperback, I can sell anywhere I want. Audio, I can sell anywhere I want as long as I pay for that production, which is thousands of dollars. So in this program, because it can only be exclusive to Amazon Kindle, and they mandate that if they find your book elsewhere, and because they always have bots trolling the internet, if they find your book elsewhere, they send you a little nastygram that says, hey, your book is enrolled in this. It can't be available anywhere else, so it needs to be removed, or we're going to remove your book from this program. I think most people know that Amazon does a whole lot by bots. It's mostly bots that are doing this. They have, little if-then scenarios. If your book is found outside of Amazon, you're supposed to get a warning. If you don't heed the warning, they remove your book from sale. What the bot is not supposed to do is find your book at another spot and instantly ban that author from Amazon. That is not a thing. That's not the policy. That is not how Amazon does things. That's not Amazon saying they hate indie authors and we want them off the platform. That's Amazon's bot going wild. So what happened recently was someone took a book from Kindle Unlimited, ripped it, put it up on a pirate site, so it's for sale or for giveaway elsewhere, and that author was punished by Amazon banning their account. Now, this could have been something that the author just needs to reach out to Amazon and say, hey, I was banned. I don't know why, what's going on, because that is not the way it's supposed to happen. That's not the policy. That's not the standard operating procedure. That bot is going wild. What happened was some author went on the internet and said, Amazon just banned my account because somebody put my book up on a pirate site. And a very sympathetic reader said, well, that's it. That just doesn't make any sense. And now I feel like we need to boycott Kindle Unlimited because that is just not fair. And now a bunch of, well, not even a bunch, thousands of sympathetic people jumped on this bandwagon, and now a bunch of people are talking about not just boycotting Kindle Unlimited. Here's where it gets a little tricky because like I said, there are a lot of authors that make a full-time income off of Kindle Unlimited. So when thousands of readers talk about canceling Kindle Unlimited without talking about how they're going to replace those funds, it hurts authors. If you have authors that pay their mortgage, make their car note, put food in their car, food in their car, put food in their homes and gas in their car and pay for insurance and doctor bills and diapers and formula and clothes for their kids and toys for their kids and toys for their person off of money that they make from Kindle Unlimited, now you're messing with their money. Now you in business that you don't belong in. Now you messing with my livelihood, and that's not the original intent. A quote comes to mind from The Wire. You want it to be one way, but it's another. Readers who mean well think that they're sticking it to the man when they say, well, I'm just gonna unenroll. I'm just gonna unsubscribe. I'm just gonna stop using it. You think that you're sticking it to the man. You think that you're showing Amazon something, but you're not. You are hurting independent authors. I can't speak for traditionally published authors because I would say the majority of traditionally published authors make their money off of their books being for sale everywhere, and they make the majority of their money from books being sold outright and not through page reads on Kindle Unlimited. Most traditionally published books don't launch and don't make a great deal of money off of their books being available in Kindle Unlimited. The majority of independent authors whose books are enrolled there do. So Amazon is for sure going to punish those independent authors for actions that readers are doing. If you haven't spoken to authors that you say you are supporting through this action to talk about how it hurts them and how you can replace that income that you're talking about taking away, you're not doing what you think you're doing. You want it to be one way, but it's the other way. You want to support authors, but you're not. You're hurting them. And I'm just talking about ebooks only, because if we're going to talk about paperbacks and paperback and audio, we can talk about how independent authors need to have their paperbacks for sale anywhere and everywhere they can, particularly at these small Black-owned independent bookstores. But if we're talking ebook only, there are authors that are making salaries, full-time money off of books being available at Kindle Unlimited. And when you talk about removing your support for them from one place, you got to talk about replacing it with another. You got to talk to those authors that you say you are supporting with your dollars before you take your dollars away, before you get on the internet, before you get on Keith Lee's internet and talk about removing your dollars from those authors and actively talk about boycotting a a mechanism that pays their salary. Have you spoken to those authors that you're going to affect? Because I bet you haven't. I bet there aren't authors that are out there that are saying, yeah, go ahead. You know, unsubscribe from Kindle Unlimited. I mean, I make all of my money from that program, but yeah, you should definitely boycott. You should definitely picket. You should definitely make noise. Yeah, yeah, we're all about it. They're probably not. They're probably not. I don't have books in Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have a dog in this fight. But I do have friends who only sell books in Amazon Kindle. They only sell ebooks in Amazon Kindle. They only make money if you are spending money on Kindle Unlimited and reading books through those page reads. That's the only way they get paid. You're going to hurt authors if you are making those moves without talking to them first. If you're unsubscribing from Kindle Unlimited, I mean, you can make the argument that buying the books outright is way better than the page reads. I know people who do both. They'll read it in Kindle Unlimited return it, and then they'll go and buy it outright. The two are not mutually exclusive. Books that are available on Kindle Unlimited are also available to be bought through Amazon Kindle. You can do both. If you are not talking about buying those books outright and replacing the funds that you're talking about removing from those authors, you are going to hurt those authors. When somebody on TikTok decided that they would stick it to the man and they would buy books and read them and return them and get their money back and get another book, read it, return it, and get their money back. And now thousands of authors wake up the next day and they have negative balances at Amazon Kindle, where before they were going to make probably $1,000, $1,200. Like, that's how they pay their mortgage. And somebody decided to play games, and now they have zero earnings from Amazon because thousands of readers decided to return books that they bought and read so they could get their money back, because they thought that they were sticking it to the man, because they thought that they were going to teach Amazon something. No, 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 no. You cannot hurt Amazon. You can't. You literally can't. You don't teach Amazon a darn thing by removing your money, because they don't care about your $9.99. They take a loss on the book business to be number one. You cost them less money when you remove your money from the pot. When you do this, they already have your money. You're not sticking it to them at all. They still have your $2.99. All you're doing is exchanging credits around. The best way to stick it to Amazon is to put your money behind these corporations that will actually file a lawsuit. They will file in the courts to get Amazon to change their policies. The Authors Guild recently went up against Amazon and got them to change their return policies that says you cannot buy a book, read it, and return it for your money back. And I think that policy just went into effect like February 1. It's not a perfect policy, because we all know romance readers can buy a book, read it, and return it the next day. But for people that might be slow, in the first 7 days after you buy a book, you cannot read that book and return it for money and buy another book. That's something that the Authors Guild did. They hired a lawyer and they went after Amazon to make that change. What a person can't do is walk up to Amazon and threaten this big giant with your $9.99. They don't care about your $9.99. They care about that money that you put behind the Authors Guild and you put behind these other organizations that are going up against Amazon and making them change their policies. We also, if you have ever heard about Audiblegate, recently they filed a court case and went up against Amazon to tell them to stop telling people that you can buy an audiobook and listen to the entire thing and then return it, because that comes out of my pocket. And I have spent, I don't know, $3,000 to hire Jacoby Diem and Wesley Chabon to record my audiobook. I've spent $3,000, $3,500. I don't know how much they charge to record an audiobook. And you are telling readers that they can listen to a book on credit and then return that book and get their credit back and listen to another book. You are actively encouraging listeners to basically steal that book, because that comes out of my pocket. That return comes out of my pocket. That's money you said that you were going to pay me for that book, but then they returned it and now I don't get paid for it. And if I have recorded that book through royalty share, I had a number of books that I recorded with my previous narrator. I say previous because we just haven't done any more books together, and we dissolved our royalty share contract because that was a problem. We both get paid for how much we make via Audible. So people were getting a book with a credit, reading it and returning it and getting their credit back. And I would have to, they would remove what they were going to pay me for that book, not just for me, but for my narrator, because we were splitting profits. So now we don't make anything off of that book. You have already listened to it and you got your credit back, and now you can listen to a different book, and I don't get paid for that book. My narrator doesn't get paid for that book. You're not sticking it to Amazon. You're not sticking it to Audible. You're hurting authors. Just a look behind the curtain as to how it actually works. You think it's a one way, but it's a whole different way. And if you are focused on what matters to that author, if you are focused on what matters to an author's business, if you want us to be able to afford to write books, to record audiobooks, to put them out there, these are things that I feel like readers need to know. I never want readers in my author business. I never want readers in my pockets. I never want readers knowing how much I make, how much I don't make. But there are certain things that you have to understand if you are saying that you want to advocate for us, if you are saying that you want us to, if you want us to succeed and you want us to be treated better, you have to understand the whole picture. There's a whole lot that readers don't know and don't understand and really need to if you are saying that you want to be an advocate. So all I'm saying is talk to authors. Talk to the authors that you want to support, that you claim to want to support, and you want to be an activist out here, but behind us, behind our author businesses, behind the books that we are publishing. Talk to authors, because the way that you think it is might not be the way that it actually is. Stuff I've been thinking about all week and couldn't talk about, really. Don't want to write it down because I'm tired of having a newsletter that nobody listens to and 12 people unsubscribe from. So look for me to hopefully have some short fiction out. Not soon, but like sooner than never. There's a couple of things that I'm thinking about putting together. I have a bunch of short fiction that I have been pulling out that used to be fan fiction, and I might rewrite them. I'm thinking about calling that series the Slush series, where I just pull out a bunch of stuff that I wrote before and I'm going to rewrite it and see if I can get, any juice. And I could maybe have some shorts to publish throughout the year. We'll see. I kind of have to have energy. So please keep me in your thoughts. There's a lot of things going on at work, and it could change my job and how I do said job. So, we'll see what happens. February 20th is when I will hear if my job changes, and if so, how much. These are, things that make it hard for me to write, hard for me to dream, hard for me to be a creative, but I'm still trying to be out here. I think that's enough rambling for today. This has been the Books by D.L. White podcast. Thank you for listening to my rambles. Thank you for all of your feedback, your thoughts, your questions. I so appreciate when people listen to these episodes and have comments on them. So do reach out if you like. I am on almost all the platforms as author D.L. White. You can also reach me via email. It's authordl@booksbydlwhite.com. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll be back next week with more rambles and things I haven't planned to talk about. But I am off to go eat some food, drink some water, watch something interesting on the television, and possibly open a book. Hope you guys have a great week.